Now it is my great honor to welcome Dr. Sepp Fegerl, President of the International Society for Mayr Medicine, holistic physician experienced in diagnostic and therapy according to Dr. F.X. Mayr. Please welcome.
Thank you very much. I sit down and try to paper that I stay in time. Thank you very much for the opportunity to contribute to your World Health Congress. It is a matter of deep concern and an honor for me to be here. I'm really pleased to meet so many interested and so many open-minded people here. Congratulations to that. First, may I ask if there is someone in the room who knows about the concept of F.X. Mayr to please raise his hands? Okay. So I would like to briefly introduce this medical system here in Prague, as Mayr medicine originated in Austria and in Karlovy Vary, and I think has great potential for our health around the world and in an integrative medicine. So who was this Dr. Franz Xaver Mayr? He was born in Austria in 1875, that's 150 years ago now, and was a pioneer in gastroenterology and in sanology, the science of health. Following the motto of the famous surgeon Theodor von Billroth, through clarity to truth, he researched diagnostics of the intestines and of the digestive tract, as there were no criteria for a healthy intestine, how a healthy intestine would look like, and still are not. Through meticulous scientific work and comparison with the possible ideal state, that's important, not with the average, he developed a subtle clinical five-sense diagnosis, bedside, real-time, independent of laboratory or imaging procedures. You've seen him there on his examination. Mayr medicine is strictly based on anatomy and physiology. When looking at the abdomen, it is easy to see that the silhouette of the belly is significantly influenced by the small intestines. The circular and longitudinal muscles in the gut serve to bring the mucous membrane into optimum contact to the food pipe for breakdown and for absorption. What is also essential for our health is that the tone and motility of the gut, of these muscles, ensure the complete emptying and cleansing of the intestine afterwards. The normal state of a healthy intestine is pain-free, without hollow, so there should not be any empty space, as it shows in the first, should be like this, because inside the gut it is dark, it is moist, it has a temperature of 37 degrees and contains bacteria. And this mixture would very quickly lead to decomposition and fermentation if stagnation occurred. When overloaded, the first thing that happens is irritation and excitation with hypertonicity, which we perceive as painful spasms. When the intestine is able to recover, it returns to its normal state. However, if the irritation persists, this active, energy-consuming spasticity cannot be maintained, leading to increasing slackening and longer retention times, leading to hypomotility, hypotonus, hyposensitivity, leads to fermentation and putrefaction, and is getting worse. This is also changing the environment, the milieu in the intestine, and leads to dysbiosis, irritation, and, as we know through countless studies in recent years, increasing damage to the intestinal mucosa and its barrier function. Since form and function are closely linked, these changes become visible in the shape of the abdomen. These changes in the intestine also lead reflexively to a protective position for the irritated intestine with changes of its posture. People are standing straight, getting in hyperlordosis, lifting the chest, lifting the diaphragm, and all kinds of this. Sorry, I missed this. Yeah, okay. The intestine, and especially its largest part, the small intestines, is our most important and digestive and immune organ. It has a mucous membrane with a surface area of over 2,000 square meters, as research of the University of Düsseldorf has proven. As long as the mucosal barrier remains intact, the immune system underlying is protected and digestive performance will be high. Changes and inflammation affect the entire organism and via this gut microbiome organ axis, which are these complex connections with all, which are well proven in the last years and demonstrated here just a little. So what are the consequences of this? We should take an ideal situation as a basis for comparison, not the average. Yeah? Then even small deviations can be detected at an early stage, often before there are subjectively clear symptoms and long before the usual diagnostic criteria are met. This sometimes gives us a head start of 10 to 20 years for our treatment or for our reaction before it manifests as a disease. And what criteria could be essential for that? I would like to point out a few. A healthy abdomen clearly shows the toned small intestine in this U shape, which floats above the smaller pelvis and does not sink below this interspinal line when you are standing. Otherwise, we speak of an enteroptosis, a visceroptosis, with pressure to the venous system, to the lymphatic system, with pressure on the urinary and adnexis and like this. And it does not lead to an enlargement of the thorax and of this epigastric angle, making the thorax wide and impairing our breath. Mayr demonstrated that a healthy abdomen should be enough. It should be enough to, for one hand, to cover the healthy abdomen. From 1906 onwards, F.X. Mayr worked with his patients during the summer month in the world-famous spa town of Karlovy Vary, while the winter months were devoted to his research and to the publication of the findings in his books. The local springs supported his therapy in this. If we now ask ourselves what Mayr's therapy looks like, we see the basic principles which are universal but adapted to each individual. First means rest. Rest by fasting or eating easily digestible food. Means avoidance of food that cause intolerance, and accept that regeneration generally requires free energy. Second principle is this cleansing. We have to support for regular bowel movements and emptying. We do this manual abdominal treatment to support this release of stress at every level and psychological detox as well. Third principle is the training of eating habits, of mindfulness, of abdominal treatment to train the motility and the self-regulation of the digestive organs. It is a perception training, and it's also about exercise, physical exercise in a reasonable amount. And the fourth principle is substitution. Substitutions for deficiencies which we find, and as a basis for optimal micronutrient support as cofactors for the metabolic processes. What has the greatest influence on the gut? Since food is always an important factor and food is omnipresent in our lives, diet plays a central role. It is also individually tailored to the patient's constitution and current condition and is intended to instill proper eating habits. This can range from tea fasting in the beginning to chewing trainers with spreads to alkaline vegetable soups and an easily digestible food. Adapted to the patient's own digestive capacity. Why do we do this? What do we mean when we speak about nutrition? Nutrition is the result of the food you consume and your individual digestive capacity. And your body decides whether your food is good or bad for your body then. Yeah? What we add is this manual abdominal treatment, by a doctor, which is an important part of the therapy for diagnosis, but also to stimulate the bowel activity, to promote blood and lymphatic flow as a form of patient care with oxytocin release, and. This training and improved awareness connects gut and brain for a lasting effect. In summary, in this nutshell thing, we have a good diagnosis. We take into account individual digestive capacity with individual nutrition and individual therapy. These diagnostic and therapeutic principles can be integrated pragmatically into any form of therapy. It is conservative therapy, including complementary therapy, TCIM. We have a very well-functioning combination with Ayurveda, homeopathy, and like this. That's good. With our therapy and remedies, we address the cell. So we have to clear the transit route, this extracellular matrix, and this is what is happening with this Mayr therapy and with these principles. At a time, I didn't know about Mayr. Homeopathist told me, when you found the right remedy and it doesn't work, send your patients to go for this Mayr fasting first. Yeah? And I say that's right. We achieve proven success with this approach and see good results in weight normalization, not only reduction, also normalizing, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, to gastrointestinal issues, psychosomatic imbalance, etc. We see that the epigenetic influence shows Grim age acceleration. We see impaired DNA repair capacity normalizes. We see that autophagy increases significantly, also mitochondrial function and ATP production. So Mayr medicine serves as an active contribution to overall and intestinal health. And you see with these examples some of these effects which we don't think in the first line. If you want more information, please visit our homepage or contact me. There are also regular international training courses. But thank you very much for your interest. And
thank you very much for your inspiring lecture.